Hello, Zookeepers. Get ready to dive into a world of wonder with the all-new Zookeepers Animal Pack. I want to start this off by just saying I appreciate all the support, and want to say Merry Christmas to all, as this will be coming out on Christmas Day, and so I don't expect to get a lot of views from the day it comes out, but just want to say thank you, everyone, for this type of content. I feel like a Zookeepers Pack Part 2 would be pretty on point to kind of cover some missing areas for the game, and so that's kind of what this is. If you'd like to see more kind of DLC speculation content, just kind of things that maybe Planet Zoo 2 will need to improve on, just go ahead and like this video, and please go ahead and subscribe as well, and comment what kind of animals you'd like to add to this list or take away. So let's get into it for the Goodfellows Tree Kangaroo, which is a marsupial that soars through the trees, marvel of nature. They're a truly unique creature, adapted to life in the rainforest canopy, native to the rainforest of Papua New Guinea. They're very highly requested, and is a great jumper and could make for some very interesting habitats. They are unfortunately endangered from habitat loss and hunting, making them useful for Planet Zoo to bring some conservation awareness. In fact, there's a few animals in here that are great for some conservation awareness. They are solitary animals, so you'll only be able to get 2 of them at a time, so a breeding pair, but I think they could go really well. You could have them as like the tree species for an interspecies of enrichment with like the cassowary, maybe some other animals. I can't really think of any right now, but a really cool species, and I would like to see them in the game. They're one of the most highly requested animals, even though I don't think we've seen a tree kangaroo in any of the like Zoo Tycoon games. Also, apologies if you hear any background noise. My dog is being a little bit of a butt, as always. The next animal is the South American coati, known to be highly requested and an iconic species from South America. You could also include the white-nosed coati from more Central America. I have seen that species in the wild in Cozumel, but I decided to go with the South American coati because of the distinctive red color. They do have different coat variations, and they can appear kind of black. They can form large social groups with one males generally being solitary, but females forming groups from like 15 to 30. And can also live in a variety of habitats from most of South America. They're also omnivorous, so can eat a large variety of food, and are really great climbers in the raccoon family, so can provide good enriching habitats that are cool to see and design. So, really like this species. They are often kept in interspecies exhibits with things like the Andean bear, or the spectacled bear, if you want to call it that. They could also live with things like the armadillos, lots of different species that they would be great for interspecies enrichment with. So, could be really exciting to see this species in the game. So, let's get on to the next one, however, and that's the black buck. They're a sexually dimorphic species, meaning that they look different between the male and the female. Males are that distinctive dark coloration, whereas the females are much lighter. They are native to India and Nepal, the savannas, where they're prey animals for things like hyenas and wolves. In fact, they're one of the main prey items for the Indian wolf, which I believe is a separate species than the timber wolf we have in game, or separate subspecies, I should say, but could be interesting to have them in kind of next door enclosures to show those predator-prey interactions. They're very social animals, and so they're graceful creatures that are really interesting, and were hunted to extinction in certain areas of their range, so would be good for conservation, even though the species is not threatened currently. The next species we're going into is Squirrel Monkey, a very common zoo animal, but would be a small primate native to North America or to South America. There are other species of squirrel monkeys native to Central America, so could kind of combine all the species a little bit. Very active species. I've seen them in my local zoo, and they are quite fun to watch. And I'm not a big primate person, but even I enjoy watching them because they move around so much. They're very common in walkthrough exhibits and multi-species exhibits, to where they could be kept with other small primates like the capuchins we have. I think marmosets would be a good... you could swap this out with any of the marmoset species. Could be an exhibit species. But I have another exhibit species as well. So I think Squirrel Monkey is a good pick. Though you might say that other monkey species from Africa and Asia would be more appropriate because we don't have species like that are small. But I think some more New World primates would be really cool. Another animal that could replace this would be the spider monkey. Another really good species. But making interesting exhibits for these guys would be really cool. Lots really good climbers. But let's get into the next species, which is another highly requested animal, the rattle or honey badger. They are very tough and defensive mustelid, native to Africa, West Asia, and India. Kind of lives in a variety of habitats and eats a variety of things, including plants, animals, and as their other name, the honey badger. So the rattle is one of their names. The honey badger is another, where they have a symbiotic relationship with a bird species. I don't recall what it is, where the bird will lead them to a beehive, and the rattle will break into it, where the bird could not. They're a very solitary animal, been known to drive off lions and leopards and other large predators away. Really interesting species. Very good at burrowing, so those burrows would be good for this species. I really think that this would be a cool animal, very similar to the wolverine, so wouldn't require a whole new set of animations, which I could understand being they don't want to do too many animals that are too different from what they've already got in the game because it just involves more work. So, but very highly requested animal that was in Zookeepers 2, so could be very useful. The next one is one of my personal favorites that I think should really get into the game, if nothing else than for conservation reasons, and I'll give you a little personal story about this species. That is the red wolf. They're a critically endangered canid native to the southeastern United States, with only around 20 wild members spread out in areas like South Carolina and Florida. They are distinct from the gray wolf and coyote. Their Latin name is Canis rufus. The gray wolf is much more common, and they did live down in similar regions, but red wolf was more prevalent in the southeast than like the eastern timber wolf or Florida wolf. Sort of story is I actually got to go to an island, St. Vincent's Island in Florida, that I canoed to with my Boy Scout troop. It was just me and my dad, though, that went onto the island, where they actually have a breeding pair of red wolves. I did not get to see any of the red wolves, but it's a really cool island that is open to the public. So if you want to get a chance to see those species, that's one of your better opportunities, but you're probably not going to. Most of them, I believe they have more packs in South Carolina. But really important conservation species, and having them in zoos is crucial to their survival because they have about 200 in zoos but only 20 in the wild. So zoo populations are really keeping that the species alive, and they're just an amazing species. They look like just a beautiful version of a wolf that is a little bit lankier, a little smaller, and would fit in with more southeastern United States animals, which we don't have too many of. So really, really cool, and would hope to see it in. The next one's also a big one for me. The exhibit animal of the veiled chameleon. They're commonly kept as pets, and they're a great arboreal species, highly specialized to living in the trees. They're native to the humid highlands of Yemen and Saudi Arabia, but they are a very unique species, highly requested into the game. They have that prehensile tail, the elastic tongue that they can shoot out and bring back to themselves, and then their periscoping eyes that can move in different directions. So really cool species, commonly kept in the pet trade, but could be really, really cool. And that's going to be it for this episode. Kind of shorter, but I've got things I've got to go do. So just please like, comment, and subscribe if you liked this video, and tell me how I can improve and what other animals you'd like to have in the pack. And I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.